excited. I forgot my conveyor. Actually, you know what? Even better. I'm going to show you something else. I'll show you it this way. So if I were to hook this up, right? So let's go ahead and just do this from scratch. So I'm going to disconnect everything for you, and then I'm going to put things in alignment. So it's a little clear of what's going on. Because it's kind of scattered right now, I want to show this clearly to you. Just so you can understand the concept of what I'm doing. Because in my excitement, I know what's going on, but you might not. Okay, so here we got our power source, right? And this is just, this bulb here is simply for us to know what's going on with the power. All right, so let's go ahead and connect this from here. And this bulb, we're going to actually move this bulb we'll just put it over here at the very end. Or we'll just put it right next to this so you can see what's going on with the power at the same time as this arrow. So we got our power source. We're going to put a switch here. And we'll call this our master switch because I can actually turn this off and on. So it's current. So when it says turn off, you know it's on. So this is on. This is off. Actually, let's rotate it so it's off is down, like that. So this is off. That's on, right? Off, on. And then what we need is the timer, right? So we're gonna need this timer, and let's just put it sideways here. There we go. And then we need our scissors to basically power things. So we're gonna start from here. Remember, from the purple, because that's an output. Anytime it's purple, it's an output. And you got 20. That's how much output you've got from this thing. So in order to be able to increase output, you need to start doing the split. You need to actually do the merging and stuff. So you can have a bunch of these going on, and then you can just kind of start merging your power into one. But pretty much what you're going to do is see if it's white. That is your input. So you're going to put power onto that. And after that, you can see you've got pretty much power coming to this, right? So this purple is always going to be the hot line. So that is the output, right? Purple is always output. White is always input. Input, output. If you're curious, just hover over it and it says input. And then see how it says pass through. That basically means the output. And then this switch, you can see it turns red. See that light right here? It turns red when you turn it off, so you know if it's on or off. That's how you know if it's on or off, right there. So off, on, right? So we're going to connect this to this input right here. So we're going to use our little tool here, and we're going to connect that. So now you'll see this start blinking. See how it's blinking? That means it's on, off, on, off. It's like every 2 seconds. And so you click on this, or we're going to connect it to the light. So you're going to see the light start blinking, right? This is the interval. Now we're going to connect this to our splitter. And you're going to see this arrow switching. So what happens is this arrow wants to go straight whenever it's off. So let's turn it off. See how the arrow always wants to go straight, right? And then if you turn it on, then it's going to want to go this way. On is to the right, off is straight. So this is cool if you like want to redirect stuff. So if you just had like maybe a farm where you were like trying to like do something else, maybe like you had this was like iron and you didn't really want to do like and maybe you didn't want to do any more steel farms and you just wanted to go straight to maybe just dumping this into an actually iron. So like that would actually be really cool. So my smelter here, say I was actually smelting gold right now, I would just switch this off. Now my gold would go straight. Now if I didn't have this timer thing, I would actually be able to just switch this off, and I'd just be able to switch this on if I didn't have the timer, and I can go to my steel farms over here instead. So there's a lot of different ways, and I'll show you some example builds. Like I said, keep an eye out for a couple more videos. I've got a couple more videos already in mind for this. I've got use cases for wood. I've got use cases for pretty much everything in your island right now, and including the totem toggle thing. Did I make that yet? The totem toggle. So. I don't think I've made that yet. Stay tuned for that video. But that's pretty much going to be a switch, so you can turn it on and off. So you can pretty much set a switch for your totems to turn on and off. But pretty much what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you a use case. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And let's get a couple buckets here. I need a couple of conveyor output things. Let's grab this thing. So we're going to put this one right here, and we're going to put this one right here, just for this example. And then I'm going to fill this up, right? So this is blinking still. That means my timer's on. And pretty much I can just drop a bunch of stuff in here. Watch. 2. It's exactly split. Look at 2 and 2. I can actually do that with like gold. I can do that with a lot of different things. And imagine actually nesting these timers. You can actually chain these timers. That'd be really cool. Man, this is a really great update. We're just barely tapping the potential of this. But yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. So this is pretty cool. It's evenly split. That's so cool. So we can turn the splitter on and off. And so instead of doing this, imagine if you're iron. Dude, I should do that right now. Let's do that right now. Actually, I don't think I even needed to do that. I think it reaches pretty far. Let's test that as well. Let's test the distance for these two. So I think your lines can actually reach really far. So let's put that right there. And let's put our splitter over here. All right, so let's go ahead and connect our power output to here, right there. This is going to come back out all the way over here. Look how far that goes. So it's already working. Check this out. That's an even split. There's no more random stuff, because what happens before is randomly you get like too many on this side at times.
Okay, so for our mission today,
that's beautiful. If I want to turn it off for a bit, I could. It's just gonna go straight. So like, if I know this side's too busy right now, I can just kind of turn it off and let it go straight for a bit. Let it fill these up, and just switch it off again. Switch it off. Dude, it's really cool. I'm so excited. This is a great update. I've been asking for this for so long. I'm just stoked that we have it now. So let's go through this a little bit more too. I want to check out this little firework thing. So let's try this. Let's check this firework thing. I think where did I put it? I thought I made this thing. Did I make one? I don't know what happened to it. Might have happened during the reset. So I'm just gonna make another one. So basically, it looks like you just fill it up with fireworks. Let's try it out. Only takes 1 power, and so I think you just fill it up with fireworks. I don't have a fireworks bin right now. Let me go make one. Okay, so I just made one. Let's fill it up with some fireworks. So it's got 30 in it. How many can you put in there? Jeez. Okay, you can put 90 fireworks in here. Okay, let's put it on. Dude, is it gonna keep going? Oh, you need the timer with this. You need the timer. Okay, let's do it. It needs a power, like a power spark each time. So what happens
we need
is,
like a lot of coal.
if we went in here and then went to this thing, it's gonna keep going every little turn on. Yep, knew it. That's a great example of a timer. And if you want multiples, you just hook up multiples to it. You just chain them. Let's chain them.
What is this?
Let's turn this off for a minute so we don't waste our fireworks. Alright, so let's put some more fireworks in here. So it still has plenty. Alright, let's turn it back on. Dude, what if we made like 100 of these? Whoa, dude. And if we didn't want this, we could actually do it like control it ourselves. So let's get rid of this and then just connect it directly. Alright, now we powered it. Watch this. Dude, that's so cool. I'm sorry, we've never been able to do that before. Hold on, I need more. More please. I'm wasting all my steel with this, but I don't care. It's gonna go to Cryer King anyway. I'm gonna have to like move over to Cryer King with all these videos. Oh man. Okay, so let's hook this up. Alright, let's go. Dude. How cool is that? That is so awesome.
On my way to do it.
I probably need to hook this back up to my randomizer because this stuff's doing bad to Cryer King. I'm gonna go and gather this stuff up, but I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. If you did, hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you're new. And like I said, I have more videos coming up pretty soon on how to set this up properly. Lots of different builds. I'm gonna be showing you how to use the totem switches. So we're gonna show you how to use the timers, pretty much the splitters. This one right here, we're gonna show you how to use OR gates, the XORs, the totem disablers, the AND gates, the buttons here. So this is nice because you can just pretty much time stuff with a button. So if you just want to tap something real quick, you could do so instead of having to switch this twice. And I will see you tomorrow with another video about electrical updates with some example builds. Peace. What's going on, everyone? It's DB, and I'm actually on my alt account here, Cryer King. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do 6 different builds. That's right, I got lots of different build designs here, and I'm going to show you all of them and how to use them and how to set them up yourself and why you would ever want to use electrical. Because a lot of people are saying, why would I ever want to use electricity or electrical builds in my farm? Why is this useful to me? And DB, please explain it, please explain it, please explain it. And I'm going to explain it in this video. This is only like scratching the surface of what this can do. And I'm actually still talking to the dev team about some other ideas that I think would be super helpful for us for expanding these, especially just from a practical standpoint, because some stuff's just fun. And I'm going to show you some of the fun stuff that's kind of just like useless but fun. And there's some that actually are useful for a day-to-day farm. Now, I just want to make something clear. This is my alt. Like I said, this is Cryer King, and I actually spent 300 million. I think I spent like over 300 million today on a bunch of supplies. So I transferred everything from my main. So everything from my main account got transferred to this account, you know, including all the extra electrite that I grinded for on that account got moved over here. So pretty much my main has zero of this stuff. It has zero of this stuff. Everything that I had from electrical standpoint got moved over here, except for some stuff that I lost. So I actually lost my totem disablers last night. So I actually grinded like over 100, I think it was 100 and some extra resources for the disablers. And I actually lost those last night, and I also lost some fireworks launchers, but they actually fixed that bug. And unfortunately, I still lost my stuff, so I thought it was still a bug this morning. But anyway, I'm going to get into these. I want to show you how these work. But before I begin, if you can hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you're new. So I appreciate each and every one of my subs. So first up, we're going to start with the fun stuff. I had to wait for the daylight. So one thing I want to tell you about this update is the solar panels are obviously only going to store up to a certain amount of power. It does store for a little while, and then as soon as it goes nighttime, then unfortunately you do lose your power source. So we're obviously going to really want something other than a generator. The generators are pretty good too, but you need to combine. So if you're going to use generators, so I got one here I can show you. So I can show you this, but you basically inject coal in there, and you can dump 10 coal in there, and then it only generates a little bit of power. So you can see here, like if I were to put the tool on, it tells you it only has 10 power. This one has 20 power. So it's basically double. So if you wanted the equivalence of this with this, then you're gonna have to get two of these. So like if I made another one of these, and then I could get a combiner, which is one of these, to get equivalent power to a solar panel. So I would have to basically do this, and then I would have to combine, right? So I'd have to find my combiner, and then I would have to do this, combine, like that. It's the opposite of a splitter. Then I would have to basically do something like this. I'd have to replace it, right? So I'd have to replace that from here. And that's just, you know, it's a big pain to do that. I would say only do that if you really, really need whatever it is that you're doing. Hopefully you're not making too many builds that really, really require power. Right now, you don't really need power, but some stuff's going to fail, like your totem disablers and stuff. So that's a big no-no. Unfortunately, that is a big bummer for this too. So we obviously need a way to store power pretty soon. So hopefully we'll get a power bank because it's really ugly. And I know that because they did a solar, panel, they've already been thinking about that. So first up, I want to show you all these designs here. I had a lot of fun doing these. So hopefully one of these are going to be really useful for you. So this is signage, right? So you can actually do signage. And so this is what you see on the other side. And it looks really cool. You can do smiley faces. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. And imagine like putting like a buy sign and a sell sign as well. I thought this was cool because like you could have like a big sign over your base. Imagine different colors too. Because I was thinking like it would be cool to have like a, sub to DB sign or whatever. Not that I'm going to do that, but even like a YouTube sign would be cool. You could do like arrows, so you can point people to where to go. You can do all kinds of stuff with this, and I can see it just really being cool. Now, one thing I do want to say is you don't need to blink. I just like the blinking because it kind of brings your attention to it. I did use a timer for that, so you could just do a straight line. So you can actually just keep it on all the time if you wanted. You're gonna have plenty of power for that. But that'd be pretty simple design to do. And then over here, I've actually got a firework display. So I'm going to turn it on for you. But you see, I've got another timer here. Because without the timer, if you flip the switch, it's only going to shoot once. So with the timer, it's going to continue to shoot every 2 seconds. So I'm going to actually show you how that works now. So I'm going to switch it. By the way, if you switch this off, obviously the sign's going to stop. I forgot to mention that. But that's pretty obvious. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this one, and it's going to shoot fireworks, shooting 6 of them, and it's going to keep shooting them. So if you wanted like a fireworks display, you could do that. Now, one thing the devs did tell me when I was asking about the timers is that if you were to place another timer in here, they would be out of sync or out of sequence. So you can technically do varying designs of timers, but right now the problem is as soon as you reload your island, it will get reset and they will be synchronized afterwards. Kind of like totems. Totems are the same problem with timers. So that's a bummer. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do those like really, really cool timer designs that I was thinking of. I was thinking about doing like offsets and stuff so that this one would go every 2 seconds and my next one would go at the same time. So it would create 4 seconds and so on. So I was actually going to do like, like trying to expand on the time. But apparently we can't do that yet. So anyway, that is the fireworks display. Actually, it's really cool. Toggling farm. So this is actually a really cool one. So by the way, I'm going to show you how to do all of these right after this. So I'm going to show you first what each one does. And I'm actually going to show you how to build it. So in case you want to recreate what I did here. So this one's actually really cool. So what this does is if I switch this on and off, I can toggle between these. So what if you wanted it so that you can pretty much save, entities? Because there are entity limits inside the world. I don't know what the limits are. They didn't tell me what the new limits are. But before it used to be like 100 items items out in the world at a time. So if it's an auto entity, so what an auto entity means is basically something that gets spawned by something automated. So like this totem would be an auto entity. So every single star that comes out on this conveyor goes towards that quota that you have. Basically a limit of what you can have out at a time. And so if I had like 100 iron in the previous update, if I had more than 100 items, things would get despawned before I could even get them, right? So like if you had like 100 totems, or if you had like 100 smelters going, and each of these like came out of the once, these would disappear, which was a big bummer for auto farms and stuff, because we really had limitations on how many farms we could have at once. Now it's actually increased quite a bit, but totem disablers are kind of cool because you can basically toggle your farms. What if you didn't want this farm active anymore? You just wanted like, maybe you have like a nested system and you want like, you only want carrots right now, so you want to turn off another farm, especially if you're doing like a cooking system. I can see this being useful for like food processors and stuff. So like if you want to do starfruit cakes and you wanted to switch it over to carrot cakes, you can basically turn off the starfruit and turn on your carrot cakes, or turn on your carrots rather, and that would actually just start making it so that you can just switch your food processor then, and you don't have to like redesign or take out conveyors or anything like that. Okay, so pretty much these things can reach totems within 10 blocks from them. So this range right here would be pretty much anything 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, right? So 10 away from each other. So these totems, if they're within 10 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one's off 9. So this one's off. My coal is off right now. So if this gets flipped on, that basically means this farm is disabled. This one's going to continue going because the light is off. The light on in this case means my disabler is on too, right? So let me actually, I got to do one thing because I didn't connect it. So let me connect these real quick so I can actually show you how this works. So this one's connecting to this guy, and then this guy gets connected to this guy, and then this one is connected to the disabler over here. All right, so how this works basically is if these are both on, both disablers are on. In this situation, you're going to see that the smelter is going to slowly like stop producing, but for a little while, it's actually going to be continued because there might be like ore still like backed up in there. So it might take a moment. But right now you can see both are off. So the totem's off. Both disablers are on right now. So what I could do is I could do like this, and both are going to be back on. And if I wanted this one to only be on, I could just switch it. So I can say I can pretty much just use this to toggle them now. So this basically means this one is actually going to be active, so this totem's active. This one's not, right? So this one's actually going to stop. They just made it, probably it's the last iron, or it's about to. Okay, there goes the last bit, and then that should be the last of the iron. So you're not going to see any more iron coming out. And if I wanted to switch it back on, so maybe I wanted this off and this one back on, I could just do the swap, and now this is going to start cooking more iron. So that's how you do basically it's a farm toggler, so you can switch between farms. And I think the better example would have been doing carrots back here and then having a food processor in between. I just didn't really have time to show you how to do that, but it's pretty easy to do. Basically, you're going to have two farms dumping into the same into the same conveyors and going straight into a food processor that also happens to be connected to a wheat farm, and that way you can actually, so there's going to be two food processors in that situation. I'll do a farm like that later for you, so that'll be a really easy build. I might even do it on my main account as part of the hardcore mode, because I can actually use something like this. I just don't have enough starfruit on that account yet. I got to grind for some more. And then a rerouter. So this is actually really cool. So this is a rerouter, and you're going to be like, well, DB, why would you ever do a rerouter? Well, you see how it's just feeding, it's actually just feeding iron. So if I wanted to only farm iron right now, I could just switch it. So I could say, right now I'm going to turn this on, and by turning it on, it's going to basically say I'm farming iron. So this would be a great one for my main account too. So if I needed, maybe I really needed iron right now, and I didn't really need steel right now, but I needed iron to do iron blocks or something, or maybe for something else, I could basically turn the switch on and redirect everything. It's a reroute, right? So that's why I'm calling this a rerouter, because you're rerouting your iron to somewhere else. And you can use this for a number of things. Like you can also do this for if you're, say I'm doing something like gold, right? So maybe I am smelting gold by hand, and I don't want the gold to go through my steel farm. I could actually drop. So, this is actually super useful. So I got a ton of gold ore. And so I could actually dump some gold ore in here and not worry that it's going to actually end up going into my my steel farm on accident. Because if it goes through steel, I'm just wasting gold. I'm going to smelt this gold, and then it's going to go over here, and you're not going to get gold steel. No, so and otherwise you got to kind of also reconfigure this. You got to put another, it's just a big pain. So you can actually use the same smelter to do multiple things now. See how the gold's coming over here now? And I can also do this for copper ore. If I had copper ore in here, I don't. But if I had copper ore here, I could actually drop that there as well. So if I had any any other kind of, item that I wanted to smelt, I could do that here, and it would redirect. So pretty much that's what I'm talking about here, like being able to utilize the same smelter for multiple things. Now, if, like I said, though, if I could get this gold out before I show you this, I don't want to waste gold. Okay, there we go. Now I can switch it off. So if I do that, now it's going to go straight because the switcher just got disabled, and now I'm going to start making steel. Now, this is missing a coal totem. Let me put it on real quick. That's why that iron's stuck there. And then let me go and reconnect this to a chest. And you could actually also, if you wanted to, you can make this a little higher, so you can actually level this up. You could actually make this a little, like, put a ramp up, or make a right turn and put a ramp so that it dumps it into here too. So you could do all kinds of stuff with this build. It's actually really useful. Like, again, this is one of the most useful. This splitter basically makes this update useful. Like, a lot of people, brought it up. It's like, yes, this thing right here is the most useful part of this update, because you can do so much with it. Same with I would say the disabler is really useful too. I'd say the totem disabler was a really good idea. I did talk to them about that, and I thought it was a good idea to at least being able to turn off totems is huge. I kind of wish, though, instead of it being this thing and disabling things within 10 range, which makes it really hard to control, I wish they did something else with it instead, like using connectors or lines or switch. Like, I wish we could actually, like, connect this directly to, like, the totems we want turned off. But instead, we kind of have to have this, like, jammer, basically. This is equivalent of a jammer, right? And it only does up to 10 blocks, so if you have a really tall tower and you wanted to disable your entire tower, it's going to be really challenging. You're going to have multiples of these, and they're actually not cheap. Check out the price for these. They're not cheap at all. Look at, so you need 100 electrite for that. And I actually bought a ton of electrite today. I bought a ton of that. That's part of the 300 million I spent today. I just kept buying electrite so I could actually make these builds on this, this account, so that I wouldn't have a limitation on what I could show you. So my channel is all about you and making stuff for you. So, if I had a grind for it all, you would never see any videos for a while. So that's why I didn't do this on my hardcore account, because I'm still having fun on that mode. So, and I can't wait to be able to get to the electric update on my hardcore mode, but unfortunately, I'm probably about a week or two behind to be able to catch up to electric. I'm not even focused on electric on that account yet. I'm focused on making a steel press, so I need to make one of these on my main account. So unfortunately, I cannot, I'm really limited on power here. So you can see at nighttime, you're kind of stuck, right? So nothing's happening here, because we're out of power. It just doesn't even store it, which is a bummer, because we have no batteries. So we're going to need like some kind of battery system to be able to store power. And I guarantee you, I'm pretty certain I already saw batteries. I might be wrong, but I thought I saw batteries somewhere, but I could be wrong. So over here, I'm actually going to show you the load balancer in a minute. But while I'm waiting, why don't we do this? While we're waiting, I'm going to show you how to build this first one. So first up, you're going to need LEDs. So I have a bunch of LEDs on me. They're actually pretty cheap to make. So let's see, I've got 3 more. So, they're really, really, really cheap. So you can come over here and I can make a ton more. So they're only 8 electrite and you need 2 iron. So like I said, they're super cheap to make. So you can actually do your, spell your name out. The other thing you could do is if you had a ton of switches, you can actually like put a full-on LED system. So what I mean by that is, imagine I did like a number board or something too. It is going to be a little expensive to do, and it's going to require a ton of electricity, and it just isn't logical, but it'd be really cool to do. But imagine you could do like a board where you can actually show numbers. So, like if you wanted to show like who's up or whatever, you could do something like that. Looks like the sun's coming up or something. I don't know why. Yeah, the sun's coming up. That's why the power's back. All right, so you could do something like this. Let me get the LEDs out. Might not have enough. So basically, you could do something like this. So if I wanted just this line to show a number 1, so you can create a number of switches, right? So I can pretty much like hook up a bunch of switches together, but you'd have to have a ton of power sources to do that, because you need to be able to do straight lines to it. So if I wanted to do like the number 1, obviously I would have to make sure I have enough to be able to do a 2 as well. So like a 2 would be like this. Yeah, I could do a 2. And then the problem is I would have to have switches. So I would have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'd have to have 15 power sources. And you can use splitters to do that. And so you can have you can split your power to multiple switches. I can just put a splitter like this, and then I can create more switches. And you can basically create a switch for every single one of these. And so if I wanted this line here, and you could actually hook up your switches to be the same as the digits. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Kind of digressing one of my builds, but I think it's a cool idea, and I want you to hear about it here, because I'd love to see everyone use it. I just didn't do it, but you can see I'm gonna actually do a splitter here. Let's bring this back, and I'll make a couple more too. See if I can afford more splitters and some more switches. Okay, so let's put some splitters. So I need 1 splitter here. That's gonna connect to here, and then this one's gonna split as well. Get my tool out. That goes
have
goes
to
to
go
there. That
I
one
wanna
goes to
get
there. So now I can afford 4
And
switches.
4.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do 4 for now. So I'm gonna show you how I'm doing this though. All right, I got more splitters. So I'm gonna actually split this one out too, and we're gonna tie these together like that. And now I'm gonna get my switches out. And I'm not gonna use the timer on this one. So this one's only gonna be 8. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we're gonna need more than that. So that's 8, 8, 9. So I've lost my output too. So what's happening here is I think you're going to lose a lot of power output doing this because each time you connect your wires, you lose output. So we would need another power source here and get another panel out right there. And we'll do something similar here. Now we got a lot of power coming through. So let's go ahead and connect these. This might not be enough power to power these things, but we'll see. Okay, so we pretty much have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 16 power sources. Sweet. So I need 16 switches. Let's see, do I have enough switches? I have 11 switches right now. So I just need 4 more switches. All right, we got our switches. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm basically going to replicate these on the ground. So it's going to be 3 across, and then it's going to be 5 down, right? Or a total of 5 down, like that. That looks right? Okay. So that way I can pretty much, draw what I want, right? So this one's going to be basically, so it doesn't matter where we get our power right now. We're definitely going to need to combine some more power through here, though, because we're not getting it. We lost a lot of power through this. Well, this is an easy fix. So if you're running out of power, let me show you something you can do. After I wire these, I'm going to show you what you can do. So just hook up one of these. It doesn't matter which one you hook it up to. If it's still lit up, it basically needs power. All right, perfect amount. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to actually connect these to the equivalents on the wall. So this one. This is important that you get it to the identical slot. I probably could have actually dedicated an entire video to this, but I don't think it's deserving. So this is the same concept though. I think it's going to be, I don't think I need to show you after this how to set up your sign. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. It looks pretty crazy, right? But it's actually a simple concept. Okay, so we're all hooked up to the switches. I just need to make 2 more of these, and then I need a couple combiners. Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're basically going to create 2 combiners. And the reason why we're doing that is we need to combine power sources so that we have enough output. So we're going to create 2 solar panels here. And so we got power, and power. And these are actually going to connect to our combiner to give us a lot more power. See, we're getting 40 now
get
instead of
rich.
20. And now we can pretty much do this and this. And we should have power now. So if I switch this on, now we got our number 1. You can even do this if you wanted to, or 7, or 2, you can switch these off, and you would do something like this. There's your 2, so I kind of messed that up. There's your 2. For 3, you can pretty much get rid of this one, and put that one on. There's 3, that's a backwards 3. See what I'm saying? Like, you could actually do a full-on digital clock if you wanted to. You could pretty much have, like, assign numbers, you could put names, you can do whatever you want. It's full-on digit system. So you can actually, like, spell out, like, stuff. You can also do like a switcher. So like if you wanted to have like full on like system where it's like maybe you have 2 sets of messages. So you could do your messages like this and then turn them on and off, right? So you can actually switch. You can even do a timer so it says hello world. Like you could technically do something that says hello and then world. It would be a whole lot of switches and a whole lot of power, but you could do that. It's totally possible. Totally possible. But this is actually a really cool setup. So anyway, we're going to go on to the next one. I think this is really cool. You gave me, it's just, I love it. This is so cool. So like, if I want to do an exclamation mark, I can pretty much do something like this. Like, it's super cool. I love it. I'm actually going to use that. I'm going to use that a lot. I just need a lot of these. I need a lot of these in the future. So that is how you do that. And like I said, if you're just doing a timer, here's the timer example. So if you wanted to make it blink, just set up a timer in between. All it does, super simple. Every 2 seconds, it turns on and off. So if I power this on, look at it. It's going to blink every 2 seconds. Now this one's a little bit trickier. This is with the disablers. Again, 10 blocks, right? So they reach 10 blocks away. And all it does is as soon as you flip this thing on, as soon as you flip the disabler on, it just disables any totems 10 blocks away. So the way I set this up is actually using the XOR. So if you've seen this one right here, the XOR is actually a really cool switch. So check this out. It's a logic gate that allows electrical pass-through if only one input receives power. So you see these two little nodes here, right there. So there's this one and this one. Basically, it means if both are connected to power, it's going to be off. But if one is connected, so this one or this one has power, it's going to turn on. But only if that's the case. So the way I set this up is there's two switches, right? So I can control these. So right now, both of them are off. You really don't need these LEDs. Just to let you know, you don't need these LED blocks. I use them everywhere. You don't need them. It's just for an example. So basically what happens here is I go from the silver panel and I go to a splitter. And the reason why I do a splitter is I need to split the power because in order to be able to do a toggle, you kind of need two power sources, right? So you have two switches. So I do a splitter to these two switches. And from here, this switch will actually toggle the power of this disabler. So if it has power, then the disabler is going to be on. If I want to turn this off, so you see right now, I'm giving it power. See, these two are green because both are green. I'm giving this thing power twice, right? I'm powering both inputs. And remember what I said earlier, if both inputs are on, then it's going to be off. It's going to turn it off. If only one input is getting power, it's going to be on. And that's what XOR means in this case. So because of that, I can actually toggle this. So if I had this on, it's going to be powered. And if I turn this one on, then only this one's going to be powered. So this is pretty much becomes the toggle for me. So this one's disabled, the other one's not disabled. So the smelter's on, smelter's off, smelter's on, smelter's off, smelter's on, smelter's off. So this one basically means smelter's on and the star fruit totem's off, right? And this one right here means the star fruit totem is on, it's operating, but my smelter is now off. And the only reason why you do that is if you just want to be able, like I said, toggle stuff. Great for like food processors, great for a lot of different use cases. It's just useful. It's just useful, period. All right, you can see as the sun starts coming up, the power starts creeping up. So it's not like immediate, but you see how much output. Like you can watch this, and it's just ticking up slowly. But you know, when you're at that power, it's actually pretty useful. Like you can already use a lot of it. See, this one's actually holding power pretty well too. Okay, so let's go back over here. I want to show the rerouter. So the rerouter is really simple. So what I'm going to show you is it just has a basic switch here. So you can this basically means the rerouter's on, this one's off, and all it is powering the switch splitter. It's a splitter, sorry. It's rerouted splitter. So the splitter is not like a randomizer. I think that should be clear by now. All it means is you see this little arrow right here. As soon as you power it, it switches. That's all that means. So if I go over here and switch it on, see how it goes over there? That's all it means. And like I said, you know, this is probably one of the most basic builds. I don't really need to show you this one too much more. I mean, it's one of the most basic wiring setups. Load balancer is just like it. The only, you know, it's almost identical to the splitter here. The difference between this is both, you know, the reason why we'd use it. You know, obviously we're going to use this not because we're trying to, you know, reroute our iron or try to do like, you know, again, the reason why we wanted this is to be able to do our gold. So if we had a bunch of gold, you know, that's where this becomes useful. So we can actually farm our gold for a bit and just leave that in there and let that smelt. That's what that's for. This one's a little different in that you're going to just you're basically load balancing. So what you want to do is you're trying to evenly split your iron across these. And this is going to be even more useful if you have like multiple load balancers going, especially with the still farm. The problem with the randomizer, especially if you're doing like a lot of steel mills, is the randomizer might give too much iron to one side or too much copper to one side, whereas this one will evenly distribute it fairly evenly. Like, you know, you can get some weird timing situations where, you know, each time you like this thing actually goes out, you know, potentially you're always like getting, you know, this one's always getting the coal. Look at this one's out of coal now. So there are some flaws to the splitter. So, you know, you got to be careful with that, especially when it comes to timing. But that's where this is, you know, this is kind of useful. Now coming all the way over here, I actually totally skipped this one by accident. So this one is actually the steel mold switcher. And if that doesn't make any sense, hopefully it does. So I have 3 steel presses over here, each with a different like mold, right? So I've got the rod, I've got the plates, and then I've got a bolt. So how this works is if I want, right now it's actually feeding just this thing. So this is the one getting the steel, right?
Okay,
so as this comes through, it comes through here, it makes a right turn. And the only reason why it's not making it over there yet is I kind of need to fill that out. There we go. Now it'll start doing it. So what's going to happen is this is going to fill up over time, and it's going to automatically make rods. And if I didn't want rods anymore, I would just switch this off, and now see the arrows are going straight. So it's basically a route control. So if I want, like I said, this one, if I want to make these for now, I can pretty much just switch. You're basically determining where things go. So if I turn that one off, Now it's just going to be making bolts, you know, because it has to
Really
go
hard.
through straight. And if I want to toggle that, now look at, if I switch this one on, it doesn't matter because this isn't still going. So that's why I have a light. Both lights need to be on for it to get to here. So this is just basically route pathing, you know, so you know which way it's going to go. That's the only reason why I did LEDs is to show where it's going to go. So right now I know it's going to go to this one. Right now I know it's going to go to this one. It's going to go to that one. It's going to go to this one. See what I'm saying? So it's real simple. I did have to do a splitter here because in order to be able to have two switches, you need a splitter. And then the switches are split in the power. And so this one right here is just going to the LED after it connects here. So it's basically going to the splitter first, then to the LED. LED is not important, like I said. You don't need the LED. The LED here is just simply to help like see what's going on with things. Pretty much this is a great way to control your still farm. So if you have like, you know, full on, like you could actually have this set up at the bottom of your still mill. In this case, this is perfect to me. So like basically I could just have a giant, you know, still farm that's like super high up and have this exact same, you know, layout. And then the only thing I would probably change about this, if you were going to do something like this, is I would just unify everything to a single industrial chest so that you could just basically just sit there and auto farm whatever is there. Otherwise, you know, just set up a bunch of these and you should be good. So you could just put a bunch of in and out chests over here, and rarely will that fill overnight. I mean, it takes a long time to fill these. Like I've tried to fill up like in and output chests with like bolts and stuff. It takes a long time. So these are my first build ideas or build designs for you. You know, again, there's lots of other designs you can do. So if you come up with a really cool design, you know where to find me on Twitter and on Discord. So, you know, I'd love to see your designs. Like I said, I'm going to make probably a really big design for like a full-on LED like chat message system or messaging system. It'll be cool. So imagine like a giant, dude, could you imagine having like this giant wall of text? That'd be so crazy. I would love that. So I might actually do that. Look forward, you know, you're hearing it here first. If someone actually creates the video before me, I'm going to be very angry, okay? If you do that before I do, I'm going to be very angry. But imagine a full-on like typewriter type setup. You could actually write full messages and then cycle between them. It'd be so cool. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and smash the subscribe button. Like I said, if you are new or you haven't yet, I would appreciate it. And like I said, I will be coming up with more electric builds for you. This is just the start. Like I said, we're just scratching the surface. And I know the game team's still working on new stuff for this. And we're giving them lots of feedback. So hopefully we'll see some cool stuff coming up. So thanks again, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.
I'm opening my mouth and I'm like,
What's up, everyone? It's DV. I'm on another alt. Of course, I'm on another alt. But I am doing a different video today. I am doing a video to test to see how much does baking actually work in this game. So we've seen them all. They always ask for stuff. They're like, please, give me smelters. Give me smelters, please. And we're like, dude, work for it, right? We always tell them, hey, why don't you go work for your stuff, you noob? No, we don't say that part. We don't say the noob, right? Noob's kind of mean to say, right? So what do we say? We usually say, go work for your own smelter. Go work for your own starfruit seeds. Go grind. Go work for your coins. In this video, though, I'm going to test to see how much can we get in 1 hour from baking. So I'm going to do an hour of baking. We're going to see what we get, okay? That is this video. So before we begin, be sure to hit that like button and smash the subscribe button if you are new. All right, so I've got a sequence of things I'm going to ask for. I'm going to be asking for gold, iron. I'm going to be asking for seeds. I'm going to be asking for keys. I'm going to be asking for picks. And I'm also going to be asking for extra totems. So that way we can see if we can build a full farm. We can see if we can build a full house. We're going to see how big of an island we can build within an hour just from baking. Now, I do have a few things I'm going to sell as wheat and these berries just so I don't look so suspicious. Same with berry seed. Actually, the berry seed I'm going to keep this because we need to build a nice farm. So I'm going to also ask for tree saplings. So why don't we begin? Here? I'm going to go ahead and beg. I'm going to say, can someone please help me? I need some. I lost my pickaxe to the void. I lost my pickaxe to the void. Please. I lost it to the void. Now, these are all pretty poor players. We're going to server hop in a second here. But that is pretty much what I'm going to be asking a rich server, because we want to go to rich servers. We don't want to go to servers that have like people with tens of thousands, because players with tens of thousands are in kind of a similar boat as me. But I'm just going to go ahead and block some of this out so I can make a bridge. Once we have a bridge, I will go ahead and proceed. I'm going to go ahead and craft my initial stuff too, just so I have a few things. I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to gonna build my fridge. All right, so we're gonna switch servers real quick. People aren't responding here because they're all poor too. The server I just went to also had a lot of poor people. The best thing to do is go to a really full server. The best way to do that is on the actual game page, click on that servers tab, and then scroll down and try to join one of these. Now, like 45 players, couldn't join that server, so I went ahead and joined the next one on the list, which has like 35 players instead of 45.
There we go.
You see all these millionaires in here. This is what we wanted. And if this one doesn't load, we can go to the next
For
one.
real?
Okay, so now we're gonna do it. All right, so let's see if we can get a pickaxe from these players. Free pickaxe, so we don't have to actually like craft it. And I'm gonna go ahead and plow. I'm gonna start getting some of this stuff going. See if anyone invites me. Oh, I've been invited by a bunch of people. Do you have an extra pickaxe? I could have. I dropped mine. Lost mine to what? No, okay. Oh, this person's got a ton of iron. Let's see. Bless. Just need a pickaxe. I lost mine. Bless. Someone help. Bless. Oh my gosh, it feels so horrible asking for things, by the way. I'm totally not the person to do this. Bless. Please help me. Please. All right, we need to go to Nathan. Nathan's the richest player on the server. Bamboo, Iron Auto Farm. If you sold the star seeds, you have free smelters and what? I'm poor. Please buy my star feeds. I'm poor. He's got 240 million. Please, I need a pickaxe. Please. Where's this Nathan guy? Please. Keep jumping up and down until he gives me one. Where'd he go? Please, can someone help? Please, can someone help me? I lost my pickaxe. I lost mine to the void. Nathan, help me. So give me build so I can help. Oh my gosh. Please. Need a pickaxe, please. I dropped mine. It fell. I'm gonna be so annoying on the server. I need one. Can't afford to make another. Oh no! I accidentally closed the game. Please. Okay, let's see if anyone responded to me. Any nice player help me with my pickaxe? Please, any nice player? Please help me. I am new. Oh gosh. All right, let's go to another person's island. I'd say Nello. They invited me. All right, we're going to go to a new server because we've been here for about 15 minutes. And we're going to try a different tactic. Instead of a pickaxe, we're going to try a different tactic. All right, we're on a new server. We're going to try a different tactic this time. We're not going to ask for a pickaxe. But next on my list is asking for some spare iron. So we need some iron. Anyone spare some iron? Just need a bit to craft my pickaxe. Need a bit to craft my pickaxe. See if there's anyone nice here. Me? Oh, Mikey. Mikey said yes. Okay, thanks. Thank you. All right, thank you, Mike. Except they kind of need to invite me. Hey, Mike. Yay! Look at all this iron.
I might have to. How to make bread in Ireland. Baby, I'm jealous. King of bread. I'm looking, and there was someone that said, "I'm the king of bread." That was so funny. I don't know why I sound like an evil. Auto farm. Volcano bread? What the heck? Gordon Ramsay. Just looking and I can't find. Here it is. Never mind. Okay.
Alright, what's going on YouTube? And today I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can make bread in Roblox Skyblock, which will help you out whenever you guys go into that one portal where you can fight slime and stuff, and you can regenerate your health by eating bread. So the first thing you guys want to do is actually go to your basic workbench, press F, and then you guys want to go to the cooking table and craft it. You guys are gonna need 30 wood and 10 iron. You could get wood by chopping down the trees. You get iron by mining it out at the portal. By the way, guys, big thanks and shout out to Mega who actually showed me how to do this. So thank you very much, Mega, for showing me how to do this. All right, now you guys want to go press E to your backpack, and over here you guys are actually gonna have your cooking table. So then you want to click on it and then just place it down right there. Okay. Now you
Because I
go
really
ahead and
need
press
to
F.
focus.
Now you have something called dough in your cooking table, which you could get by getting wheat. So the wheat turns to dough, and the dough turns into bread by heating it up, which says it right there, heat up to bake into bread. So what we're gonna do is press craft it, and as you guys can see, now we have dough. Now what we need is a small furnace. So let me go and just press this.
Wait, you need a
There's
furnace?
a small furnace right here. I have it right here. Okay, place it down. And then you guys want to go ahead and put some coal into here. Okay, now it's heating up. Now we need to press F and then go onto our dough here so that it can break into bread. Alright, there we go. Bam! And as you guys can see, our dough is up there. It's getting heated up, and boom! It just turns into bread. F, we pick it up. Now we have bread. And guys, that is how you guys can make bread in.
Oh, that's how you make bread. Ew. Okay, well, you didn't need to go around there. We didn't need to go out there, so yeah. Well, wait, Q, Q, wait, did I do it correctly or no? How do I? Wait, I forgot. Something with that.
Roblox Skyblock is a very to your basic workbench, press F. And then you guys want to go to the cooking table and craft it. You guys are going to need 30.
Yeah,
30
I don't know if I
and 10
did
iron.
that
You can
correct.
get wood by chopping down the trees. You get iron by mining it out at the portal. By the way, guys, big thanks and shout out to Mega who actually showed me how to do this. So thank you very much, Mega, for showing me how to do this. All right, now you guys want to go press E to your backpack, and over here you guys are actually going to have your cooking table. So then you want to click on it and then just place it down right
On
there.
my head.
Okay. Now you want to go ahead and press F.
Good.
And as you guys can see, now we have dough. Go ahead and put some coal into here. Okay. Now it's heating up. Now we need to press F and then go onto our dough here so that it can break into bread. Alright, there we go.
Wait,
Bam.
what?
And as you guys can see, our dough is up there. It's getting heated up, and boom, it just turns into bread. F, we pick it up. Now we have bread. And guys, that is how you guys can make bread in Roblox Skyblock. It's a very easy process to do, and it'll take you like 5 minutes to do. I mean, really, it's really easy.
Now I know how to make bread.
Make bread in Roblox Skyblock. If you guys aren't checking out the streams, make sure you guys go ahead and join in on the streams where we do it daily on Roblox Skyblock and more games. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Okay, bye. Yes, I got my bread. Finally.
Protecting 50,000 square miles of wild spaces and communities is a big job. To help prevent wildfires, we use artificial intelligence, infrared, and high-definition imaging. We also continually clear dry brush to help keep our communities safe.
These my boxes now. Let me see if this is never mind about it. I'm gonna analyze here because really email anymore. I was also on my phone 1 week.